Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, our group will present about the Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point or HACCP in three different countries, which are Malaysia, Australia, and Japan. HACCP is a systematic food safety framework designed to control hazard at critical point in food production. Malaysia has a program is based on MS 1418-2019 and is managed by the Department of Standard Malaysia. It emphasizes preventing food hazard through careful analysis and control. This proactive approach aligns with global standards, highlighting the importance of food safety worldwide. In Australia, HACCP program is overseen by HACCP Australia and focus on high-risk sectors like hospital, seafood, and meat processing. It's mandatory for this industry, ensuring strict adherence to food safety standards. With robust legislation and extensive training program, Australia prioritizes compliance and safety, setting a global benchmark. This focus on high-risk sector reflects the country's commitment to minimizing foodborne risk. In Japan's framework, they are supervised by the Ministry of Health, Labour and Welfare, emphasizes flexibility and inclusivity. It mandates sanitation control plans for all food business and provide extra support for all enterprise. By balancing flexibility with robust standards, Japan ensures food safety from production to export, aligning its practices with international expectations. This adaptability has been crucial for its global reputation. Then we go to the similarity of the program between Australia and Japan. Australia and Japan both prioritize food safety at the core of the HACCP framework. In Australia, mandatory program ensures safety in high-risk sectors like hospital and seafood. Japan achieved the same goal by requiring sanitation control plan for all business. Despite different approaches, both nations emphasize proactive hazard management to protect public health and ensure food quality. The second one is government support and training. Both countries offer substantial support to business implementing HACCP. Australia provides product endorsement and extensive training, while Japan offers guidebook and example tailored to small enterprise. This share emphasis on education and government aid underscore their commitment to smooth HACCP adoption across diverse industries. Lastly, both countries follow the 7 principles of HACCP, from keeping hazard analysis to record keeping. This shared foundation ensures their framework are aligned with international standards, creating consistency in food safety practices worldwide. These principles are the backbone of their system, guarantee comprehensive hazard control at every stage.
Next, I will highlight 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of HACCP implementation in the Australian food industry. The first one is Australia's global reputation for food safety. Australia's HACCP standards are internationally recognized, particularly in high-demand sectors like meat, dairy, and horticulture. This reputation provides Australian exporters with a competitive edge in global markets, as consumers and trade partners trust the quality and safety of their products. The second one is risk-based approach. The HACCP framework in Australia is integrated with other food safety systems, such as GMP. This risk-based approach ensures that potential hazards are identified and controlled efficiently throughout the supply chain. The third advantage is they have strong regulatory framework. They provide clear and robust guidance for HACCP implementation. This ensures consistency and reliability in food safety practices, particularly in industry where compliance is mandatory. Now, move on to the challenges. The first disadvantage is that HACCP is not mandatory for all food sectors in Australia. While industries like meat and seafood are required to comply, many other sectors adopt HACCP on a voluntary basis. This can lead to inconsistency in food safety practices, especially among smaller businesses. The second disadvantage is the high cost of compliance. HACCP implementations require significant investment in training, infrastructure, and audits. For smaller business, these costs can be prohibitive, limiting their ability to adopt the system effectively. Lastly, many small and medium expertise face resource challenges when implementing HACCP. These businesses often lack the technical expertise and manpower required to develop and maintain HACCP system. As a result, they may struggle to compete with larger companies that have greater resources.
Japan HACCP program has several strengths that make it stand out globally. First, it helps boost food exports. The system is designed to meet international food safety standards, which make it easier for Japanese food products to enter global market. This is especially important for industries like seafood and processed food. Second, the program is flexible. Instead of enforcing one-size-fits-all rules, Japan allows business to design safety procedures specific to their products. This ensures food safety while accommodating the unique needs of different food categories. Finally, Japan's government actively supports business. Through the Ministry of Health and Labor and Welfare, companies receive training, guidance, and resources to make implementing HACCP smoother and more effective. This partnership strengthens the overall success of the program. Despite its strengths, Japan as a program has some challenges. One of the biggest issues is its accessibility for small business. Many small and medium enterprises struggle with high costs and limited resources, leading to only 27% of them adopting HACCP. Another issue is the focus on paperwork. Inspectors often emphasize having complete documentation, which can take attention away from improving actual food safety practices on the ground. Lastly, there are high startup costs. To implement HACCP, businesses often need to upgrade their equipment and train employees, which can be expensive. This makes it harder for smaller companies to get started with the program.
Next, a little bit about Malaysia's HACCP. Malaysia's HACCP implementation is a voluntary basis except for seafoods exported to the EU and the US. And then, its certification scheme describes procedures which apply to food premises in gaining HACCP certification. Next, HACCP training is regularly provided in 3 modules which include prerequisite to HACCP, HACCP implementation, as well as HACCP verification and audition. Next, the scheme is administered by the Ministry of Health, which is also helped by several other organizations, which include the Department of Fisheries (DOF), involved in HACCP for fisheries and aquaculture, as well as the Department of Veterinary Services, involved with slaughterhouses and animal farms. Next, based on the advantages described in Japan's and Australia's HACCP program, there are several improvements that can be implemented in Malaysia's HACCP program to further enhance HACCP program quality in Malaysia. Firstly, we can fully harmonize Malaysia's HACCP program with Codex Alimentarius guidelines and international best practice to increase international recognition like Australia and Japan's HACCP program. This is because Malaysia's HACCP framework is influenced by local regulations, including the Food Act 1983 and Food Hygiene Regulation 2009, which may not always align perfectly with the Codex framework. This can create barriers for Malaysian food products to penetrate global market. Hence, the adjustment of HACCP to international guidelines can help local products to penetrate global market, especially in the EU and the US. Secondly, we could provide flexibility in HACCP protocols to cater the unique needs of diverse food industries in Malaysia. Unlike Japan's HACCP program, the current Malaysia HACCP program uses only one approach, which may not address the unique needs of Malaysia's diverse food industry. This means Malaysia's HACCP is applying the same standardized set of guidelines and procedure to all types of food production processes, regardless of the industry product's type size. Besides, the current HACCP guidelines are designed for industrial scale operations, focusing on advanced equipment and monitoring. It is important to customize different HACCP templates for different sectors, including SME, traditional food industry, and etc., to address specific hazard and operational conditions since they have different nature than industrial scale operation. This can be a motivation for small businesses to apply for HACCP certification. Lastly, the third recommendation would be to establish a dedicated organization or body to oversee HACCP implementation. Unlike Australia's HACCP program that is solely managed by HACCP Australia, the current HACCP implementation in Malaysia are overseen by multiple agencies including MOH, DOF, as well as DVS and many others government and private agencies. This can sometimes lead to inconsistent enforcement. Hence, having a dedicated body for HACCP would help businesses to have one point for all HACCP-related queries, leading to more effective communication and easier compliance.